Nigeria is bringing a lot out of me. Some slangs that I've used in some of my songs now, I'm like, I'm like, what? Why am I saying this?
Akin, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm great, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, it's lovely to have you in the studio. And how long have you been in Nigeria?
Man, since December. I just kept extending and extending. I don't want to go back,
That's great. I must admit, I think as a Canadian artist, as a Canadian Afrobeat artist who comes back to Nigeria once in a while, you must be enjoying the culture, the vibe, like being home, everything it does for you, and what you'll be missing, you must be taking it in.
Trust me, man. Where do I start from? The food, the people. I mean, just the vibe overall. It's just amazing being back home, right? Being with your own people. It's amazing, man. Trust me.
That's great. That's great. So, you've been in the game for a while. You've been putting out music consistently since 2013. Every year since then. Every year, and that's close to a decade now.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. So, what has kept you going? What's the motivation behind your consistency?
Well, I'll say the motivation really is, is that music is part of me. I really love music. I enjoy doing music, being in the studio, writing songs. I consider myself a really good songwriter. So I get inspired with new melodies and so on. I'm like, this would be a nice song, and I just put it together. So, considering the fact that I've been singing since, I was 7, writing songs. So it's part of me.
It's great.
Yeah. It's always been part of me. So, yeah.
So, when you started out way back 2013, 2012, there are not a lot of Nigerians in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, they love Nigerians in Canada right now.
Yes.
There's a whole community of Nigerians in Canada, and there are a whole lot more wanting to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So, but then there are not a lot of people. So, and you're an Afrobeat artist. You're not a Western pop artist.
Yeah.
You sound like you sounded Nigerian. You're making music for Nigerians. So it wasn't easy for you when you started out because you didn't have the audience you had now. So how were you able to navigate those at times as a new artist making an African sound in an international, foreign country? I
understand completely. Earlier on, I mean, definitely, like you said, not a lot of Nigerians in Canada. I remember back then, in university, the Nigerian Student Association per se was just myself and my friend. It was just two of us, just two, my friend and myself. But now, I mean, obviously there are more Nigerians in Canada. But what helped me earlier on was, my comparison with Akon. Because back then, I guess Akon was the top artist in America, right? So a lot of people say, "Oh, you're the Canadian Akon, and and my name is now Akin on top of that again." So it's like everywhere I go, people just say, "Oh, Canadian Akon." And then I put out a song in 2013 I recorded called Harmony. I put out that song and it was on radio for 8 weeks, number 1 on some of the commercial radio stations in Canada. So that really helped me. I got to perform, at some festivals and so on and so forth. So that basically just gave me the foundation, to grow my career.
Yeah, so as an Afrobeat artist, who moved to Canada way back 2002. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so what inspires your music? I mean, for artists that are in Nigeria, they can say it's their immediate environment, It's the people they meet every day, their everyday interaction, the culture. So for you, who had to absorb the culture and international culture, and you had to deal with a foreign culture every day, what inspired your music, and what were you able to still connect with African music while you were living in Canada?
Absolutely. The things that inspire me on a daily basis are just my own personal life experiences, my journey through life and the things that I go through each and every day. Those are the things that inspire, what I write about and, my lyrical contents and stuff and so on and so forth. Example, the song Harmony was inspired by, me being in Canada. Because I realized that, though the way Canada is portrayed to the outside world is that, it's a happy country where everybody's together. But me living there, I realized that there's segregation in Canada, right? The East Indians will live together in one area, the Chinese will live together in one area, the whites will live together. You see what I mean? So they all have their own separate, so there's segregation. So I was like, wow, wait a minute. We can all live in harmony. We can live together. We can live in harmony. Let's put aside our differences. Let's live together. So that inspired the song, right? So, and other songs as well. With regards to me connecting with my, African I'm Nigerian, Naija boy. So, I went to high school here. So that's always part of me. Like, I grew up listening to Fela music and, King Sunny Ade and those, So I always have that, part of me. So, yeah, man. And you hear that in my songs as well, like influences from them as well. So, yeah.
That's great. That's great. So, Nigerian music is huge internationally now.
Big time.
It's more than we possibly ever imagined it could be.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop anytime soon. So now, when you, in your early days in Canada, I'm sure there are not a lot of artists, Nigerian artists popping up there and doing shows there. But this year alone, we've had a couple of artists, Tiwa, Fuse, Kiss Daniel, Davido, shouts Afrobeat stars who have taken Afrobeats to Canada. And now it's beyond music. It's even cultural. This music allows Black people to have an identity that they are proud of. So I think you are in a position to give us a unique perspective. Because now, as a Nigerian growing up in Canada, because to some extent you grew up in Canada, because some formative part of your life from 2002, you went to Canada after secondary school.
So for university actually.
For university, that after secondary school, you went to Canada. So you did secondary school in Nigeria.
Yeah, totally.
So you're probably still a teenager when you
big time.
Yeah, when you went to Canada.
I was like 16, right?
Yeah, you see. So you see how your formative years there. So how, when you started, was the environment a kind of place where you were proud of being Black? In the UK, Nigerians that grew up there, that went there early, they were not really proud of being associated with Nigeria. They tend to try to claim a Caribbean. I'm Jamaican.
Oh yeah.
Because Nigeria wasn't cool. So how was it like for you when you were growing up in Canada?
It was tough, especially university days. I remember when days where you say something, like pass me that water bottle or something like that, and people say, what are you saying? Like, because the accent and the tones and everything. Because I was proper Naija boy, like living here at 16 and going there, and the accent obviously was different. And university, people will tease you sometimes and say, oh, what is it? But eventually, especially some of my white friends, they were intrigued by my accent. They would ask questions like, where are you from, and so on and so forth. So I made a lot of friends just because of my accent. But at the same time, there were people that would say, but I got a lot of hate from quote unquote Caribbean people than from white people, because the Caribbean people, they didn't really understand. So they would say, what part of the island are you from? And I'm like, no, I'm not from the island. I'm from Africa. They're like, Africa? Because, their mindset and the preconceived ideas of what Africa is, they would think Africa is like just people living on trees and stuff like that, right? Because of all the, the media stereotypes and stuff like that. But eventually, people will just get to know that, okay, Africa is a continent. There are different countries in Africa and so on and so forth. So I use a lot of that as an opportunity to educate, so people in Canada to let them know, where I'm from, we live in big mansions, right? We drive nice cars, right? So yeah.
So you think the music, Afrobeats, played a major role in making Nigerians cooler internationally? As the music grew internationally, as music became more popular, more widely accepted, Nigerians became more confident to display their identity and say, yeah, this sound is coming from my country and I'm proud to associate myself with this sound.
The truth of the matter is Nigerians have always been cool. From the inception. You can go back in time. Any country you go, like, we're always like the top. If you talk about, in terms of like the medical field, we're there. Engineering, you're there. Name it. Banking. Nigerians we do big things worldwide. So we've had that name already. So me, I'm like, I'm carrying this legacy, this big legacy of being a Nigerian already. Because, I have to live up to the expectations of being.
Carrying the hopes of everybody at home.
Exactly, right? Considering the fact that, somewhat were like the pioneers of Afrobeat in Canada, right? So we have to hold up that mantle and make sure we represent Nigeria in a positive light. You will never, when I was in Canada, back then, 2002 and stuff like that, you wouldn't really hear Nigerians doing a lot of crime or stuff like that in Canada and stuff like that. Because we made sure that the foundation was good. If we messed up while we were there, all the artists that you're claiming, that you're saying that, mentioning now that they're doing shows there, they won't, it will be extremely difficult for them to get the visa and stuff like that, because the foundation is solid now. You know, most of the Nigerians you find in Canada, they're doing really, really well, extremely well. And
Okay.
you know, so it's what it is, man.
That's grand. That's grand.
Yeah.
So you've been as an artist based in Canada, Afrobeat artist based in Canada. You have a level of consumers who are based in Canada, Canadian-based consumers.
Yeah.
And not so much in Nigeria, because as far as Nigeria is concerned, this is an international market for you.
Yeah.
Canada is your local market.
It's sad, bro.
Yeah, and the irony is that you make Nigerian music,
exactly,
but Nigeria is your international market.
Yeah.
So, but now I think you're trying to be more deliberate in coming home, trying to connect with your consumers and trying to connect with the culture. Yeah. So, what inspired that?
Man, home is home, right? There's nowhere like home. So for me, I feel, home is where, my heart is really. The plan for me eventually is maybe to come back home and live here, and contribute to the culture somewhat here as well. I want to connect with my fans more at home, because I feel that they understand my music better. They understand me better. Because this is my roots. This is where I'm from, right? With regards to me having, a fan base in Nigeria, I mean, there are people in Nigeria that, I'm sure have heard my songs before. I wrote a song called Nigerian Girl. How specific can that be? I'm like, Nigerian Girl, like, yo, you guys listen, right? So, so I'm sure people have heard my songs, but it's just that some people don't really know they know the face, right? They don't know. Like, sometimes I play my songs and I'm like, who's this artist? Like, I know this song. But I'm like, I'm the one. Like, oh my gosh, so it's like that, right?
There's no face to the name.
Exactly, because I'm not around, right? Yeah. Like when there are shows or there are parties or events, nobody knows. Nobody can put a face to the song. But now I'm here.
That's grand.
And you can see, I love you. I mean, fine guy.
Yeah, welcome home. It's good to be back home. Yeah. So
thank you.
So you've been, as I said, as we discussed earlier, you've been putting out music since 2013. This is like 9 years of consistency, and you've not put out a project yet. Not a single project. Now you know what's interesting. There's also a Canadian artist who has that similarity with you, who was based in Canada, who is still even based in Canada, and came to Nigeria. Put out music, but never put out a project. He put out his first project this year.
You mean Dice?
Yeah, Dice. Dice put out his first EP this year. This is first, and it's been around for close to a decade.
Yeah.
So same thing with you.
Yeah.
So why,
man? With an album, with a project like a full blown album, me being an artist that, like I'm doing this not just for like to make a quick buck or to just get famous, stuff like that. I'm doing this because I'm a musician. I play acoustic, I sing, I write songs, like I'm a real musician. So I wanted to like take my time and do like a project that really reflects, me as an artist. Very well, like using like a band, using like instrumentalists, using, the production, like full-blown production kind of stuff. This is what I want to do. And I realized that Canada doesn't really afford me that opportunity. You're trying to record a song in Canada, you set aside $1,000 budget. The studio starts timing you by the hour. They tell you, it's $150 an hour, By 3 hours, the producer's like, your money is done because you have to pay taxes and all that stuff, and you're out of the studio. So the creative process gets cut, you don't get to really produce the way you really want it. So that's why, man, for me, personally, I don't know about, Dice. I don't know why he didn't do it, but for me, that's the reason. Because I want to really work on my music and my craft and, take my time and, work on it properly. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. So you've been in Nigeria for the past 6 to 7 months now.
Yeah.
And you must have, so in terms of the creative process, in terms of the culture, as you mentioned, I think you enjoy more creative freedom in Nigeria. Because you can access a producer and you guys can spend time in the studio, cook a song and explore different creative processes.
Yeah.
And so in terms of your sound, I'll tell you what I think, then you correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So
you better be good, man.
Yeah. No. Like your genre, not your music itself. Like the kind of genre. I think your genre is R&B. That's what I think. R&B. So So and your style of R&B, although you sound African, you try to your accent is a bit more Canadian now.
I know.
It's a bit more Canadian now. But you try to put that the sonic, like your melodic arrangement, the beats, the cadences are still Nigerian in terms of the beat. But the flow and the way you flow. That's why they say you're like Akon. The flow is really Western. So it's capable of appealing to both Nigerian and international audiences. Yeah. But now, when you're in Nigeria, you must have been able to feed off the culture here.
Yeah.
In terms of music. In terms of music here, will sound a bit different. That's Buga. I don't know if you've heard the song. Buga, this popping song. So we have something called Lamba in Nigeria, the one that gets people dancing on the street, the energy. Vibe, So your music, you have that cool vibe. You just want people to listen to what you're saying. You want them to hear what you're saying. You want them to feel what you're saying. But so it's fantastic. You might have your own audience in Nigeria, but it's not maybe necessarily a very Nigerian sound. So when you're here now, have you been able to
to work on
absorb from the culture and be able to let me work on sounds that appeal to this demographic, this Nigerian audience. Let me work on a dance song and a piano song for them, or get on a vibe like that.
Totally. I've so far, I've recorded, I'll say about 10-15 songs.
That's enough for an EP. So
that's the thing, because every weekend I'm just recording, meeting with different producers like Spells, Coblon. I mean, just vibing and just working on new records and stuff like that. But considering the fact that I'm a musician and an artist, if I'm in the studio, right, it's just based on vibe, right? If I hear a sound, I can vibe on anything. So it's just that energy, right? But definitely Nigeria is bringing a lot out of me. Some slangs that I've used in some of my songs now, I'm like, what? Why am I saying this? It's like, it's just me being here. And I realized that, wait a minute, I'm catching on some of the slangs and the vibe, in the country already, right? But again, it's all based on, the music, the environment, being in the right place at the right time. Because in Canada, I mean, you get a beat from a producer. You're like, hey, listen to this beat. And you listen. By the time you vibe on it, by the time, you see what I mean? And there's snow outside, all that stuff now. By the time you go through all that, the vibe will be different. But you're here. I mean, by the time you leave, your estate, you're trying to drive, you're stuck in like a 2-hour traffic. You see people hawking, people running. The hustle. I mean, obviously, your song is going to come out differently. Right? You see what I mean? So, it's just the vibe, man.
That's great. That's great. So again, congratulations on a new song. Number one, solid song. So now, what's your plan for that single? It's out on DSPs, and I'm sure your Canadian consumers are already chopping it up, they're already lapping it. So we want Nigerian fans. You want Nigerian audiences to vibe to that song. So do you plan on plugging it on radio stations? You plan on playlisting it? You plan on maybe even shooting a music video while you're around?
We have a video already done. I did the video in Nigeria here. Music video dropping, I think tonight.
It's
dropping tonight.
That's great.
All the TV stations already have it. Sound City, MTV Base, Hit TV, they all have it. So I think they're gonna start playing tomorrow. So man. My plans for the single, I'm looking to maybe do a remix with a female artist. I think it will be dope. Because the song is it's a lovers kind of vibe, right? So I can do the male part, and they can do the female part. And we can make it a bit more romantic, something like that. But other than that, I have other projects like I mentioned. I've recorded over like 10-15 songs. So I'm just trying to finalize all of them, and singles after singles, and we'll drop a project, man.
So the more singles dropping this year?
Yeah, man, more singles. But based on advice from my team, they're like, give it 3 months.
Space
it up a bit. But man, I'm eager to just drop all of them. I just want to drop all of them.
I love the energy. So you're an independent artist.
I am.
How's that been? How's that been for you?
I think honestly, that's one of my biggest the biggest problem and the challenge that I have, because consider the fact that I have to pretty much do everything. I'm like the manager, I'm like the PR, and it's time consuming, right? People write me something like, Akin, you're not doing this now, you get your song on this, but it's just me, I'm like a one-man team. But, I do have people that have reached out over the years and, done projects, to help me like get my name out. For instance, I was invited by Universal Music in Canada, Sony Music in Canada too. I mean, they all have my stuff, right? But it's just the right timing. I just have to see what works for everybody, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah,
that's great. That's great. So now regarding your music, you like every artist feels special. Every artist wants to sound special, wants to sound different.
That's it. You got it.
Every artist wants to sound different. So, which Nigerian artists would you say, in terms of their delivery, their style, and their creativity, would you say, I don't say it's similar to yours, but if you had to work with an artist similar to you, which Nigerian artist would you pick?
Oh my gosh, it's a tricky question, man. But I'll give you an answer. But I'm open to I want to work with everybody. I am cool with that. No issues with nobody. I think every artist is unique and they bring their own unique, kind of like flavor and vibe to a record, right? Which is great. So I'm open to work with each and every one of them. But one specific guy, that a lot of people tell me, that Nigerian artist. So other than Akon, the Akon comparison, one guy specifically.
Should I guess?
Yeah.
This is Wande Coal.
No, I've heard Wande Coal before too. I've heard Wande Coal. Even a couple of days ago in the studio, a guy heard the song. It's like, this is Wande Coal. Like, it's me. It's like Wande Coal. So I've heard Wande Coal before too as well. So I would love to work with Wande Coal if I get the opportunity. But one guy specifically is Tubaba. Tubaba for sure. Like I remember, I put out the song "Time Flies." I went to a radio station, they were playing the song and the guy said, oh, this is Tubaba in the studio. And people were calling me and said, Tubaba, let me say hi to you. And I'm like, I'm not Tubaba, so it's like that, So I get Tubaba a lot and I get Akon a lot, and Wande Coal, obviously. So I'm open to,
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you have, some artists like to say they are their own favorite artists. It's a very corny thing to say, but it's okay. Kanye West will say, I am my own favorite artist. I am my own favorite rapper. Yeah. So, are you your own favorite artist, or do you have a favorite artist?
It's a bit. So, when I'm creating or like writing a song or so, I love to kind of listen to my own records to kind of keep that consistent vibe and sound. So if you ride with me like you're in a car or in a car together, you just hear all my records throughout. So I listen to myself a lot. So I can just keep that consistent vibe. But some of my favorite artists, definitely I'll say Bob Marley. So I listen to a lot of Bob Marley records, even records that he did from when he was like young, like Doppy Conqueror, and like some songs that are not even like that famous. Whatever I listen to, I listen to Fela as well a lot. And for other than Fela, Nigerian artists, I'll say Asha. I listen to Asha too. There's this song. How can I forget this?
By Asha?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Is it new or?
It's the previous records. I still listen to the new ones, but the previous record I'm trying to remember. Fire on the Mountain and all that. I listen to that and this song.
The Bibanke song.
Bibanke, all that one.
Jila and Co.
Ojumo Timo, I forgot what it's called.
That's Peaceful Nubia.
Yeah, Peaceful. That song, I love it. I listen to it in the morning. Like, I can put it on repeat. Like, I'm sure all the streams that she got, I was the one that was just streaming it, man. Like, I love that sound. Like, it's just peaceful,
Yeah, it's really the ambience. It's really great.
It's what it is, man.
So now you've mentioned some OGs in the game. You mentioned a folk artist, which is Peaceful Nubia, an alternative megastar, Asha, an Afrobeat legend, the pioneer of Afrobeat, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, and the reggae powerhouse, Bob Marley. Our audience would want you to mention some of the popping artists, the big names now. Which of them who's your favorite? Like, you have a lot of big artists in Afrobeat right now.
All of them are dope, man. I mean, honestly, like, to me, because I enjoy music, right? Being a musician, I enjoy music. So I mean, Davido, you cannot not mention Davido. You can't mention Wizkid. You can't. I mean, Burna Boy. I mean, come on, man. I enjoy music.
That's great.
Like I remember the song with the Vibes, the Killing Them with Zlatan. I mean, in Canada, I was blasting that song, man. I put it on speaker like crazy, just blasting it because I enjoy music, right? So being a musician, so.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Aki, it's been really wonderful chopping it up with you.
Thank you, man.
And we look forward to listening to your new song, number one, on the radio stations and on TV. And everyone should go stream the song and also like request the song on radio. So if you want to say something to your fans or to our audience and tell them a bit about yourself and your new song is out, and ask them and tell them. And then just ask them to vibe to your song. So yeah, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Yo, this is your boy Akin Busari, A to the K to the I-N-G. I am a king, ain't no stopping me. So please show me your love, support, stream my songs, follow me on social media, share with your friends, even your enemies, man. Let them feel the vibe. Dedicate the song to your lovers, vibe to it. Let's do this.